Riverfront Park is freaking awesome. Now, have you ever wondered how it came to be? As one of Spokane's major attractions, this park is chock full of history that I just can't wait to share with you. So enough of all that, let's just get to it. If you love history the way my girlfriend does, you're going to get a real kick out of this. So going way back into the early beginnings, the Spokane River and this entire region was occupied by the Spokane tribe, and the river was a major source of their sustenance. They often fished for salmon, as well as other fish. With the Spokane Falls being a key point during their fishing season, this river provided them sustenance and was integral to their way of life. In fact, in the native tongue, the Spokane River was called, and I'm not going to even pretend I could pronounce that, but it translates to swift water. Experts have found petroglyphs as well as artifacts all up and down the banks of the Spokane River, finding evidence of their summer encampments where they would process all the salmon that they would catch in order to feed their families, which is exactly how they sustained their way of life all the way up until the arrival of Western settlers. That's right, in the late 1800s, specifically 1873, James M. Glover, who is often referred to as the father of Spokane, purchased land around the falls because he saw its potential, which was an excellent investment because he was totally right. After which, Spokane had an economic boom. The river's energy started being harvested for mills and factories, making Spokane a key industrial location in the Pacific Northwest. By the 1880s, Spokane emerged as a substantial railroad hub. Spokane facilitated the transportation of timber, ore, as well as other goods, which absolutely bolstered the region's economy. This industrialized zone around the Spokane Falls continued to be a rail hub all the way until the 1974 Expo. That's right, the World's Fair came to Spokane in 1974. Spokane was chosen as the site of the World's Fair due to its picturesque setting and its drive for urban renewal, which at the time Spokane was the smallest city to actually host the World's Fair. Now, why was Spokane chosen? Because the theme of that year was to highlight environmental issues. See, they really wanted to draw attention to pollution and the need for conservation, which at the time was a really novel focus of the World's Fair. And with Spokane's motto literally being near nature, near perfect, you can start to see when you dovetail that with the theme of the World's Fair during the 74 Expo, everyone came to the obvious conclusion that we were the perfect place to host. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because with the World's Fair, there was major infrastructure improvements. See, pre-Expo, the site was host to over 100 years worth of railroad and industrial remnants, which all changed during the Expo in order to accommodate a site for the fair itself. Spoiler alert, the site became Riverfront Park. Now, this Expo really did seed the start of what would become the Spokane Riverfront Park, completely changed the landscape of downtown, which we see the remnants to this day. That's right, I'm talking about the 145-foot high U.S. Pavilion. I bet you didn't know it was called that, which still stands today. Which, to be fair, the city ran out of money and they couldn't take it down, but it's okay because I'll explain later what they turned that into, and it's pretty great. Fun fact. Did you know that the city of Spokane has a contract for the flow rate that go through the falls? That's right, Spokane Falls is always going to exist because the city of Spokane ensured during the 74 Expo that there's a guaranteed rate of flow through that area, which would always create a magnificent waterfall. Fun fact for the fun fact, did you know that the Spokane Falls is one of the largest waterfalls within a major city in the entire United States? That's right, this beautiful city has some amazing natural features within the city itself. That city motto is starting to make more sense now. So the Expo 74, aka the World's Fair in Spokane, was all great and wonderful and all, but you might be asking yourself, what's happened since then? All right, wise guy, I got something for you. Some of the development and expansion that has happened since that event can include things such as the famous Looff Carrousel, which is one of 4 in the entire United States, which was originally installed in a different park in 1909, which was then later moved post-Expo. This is one of 4 hand-carved carousels in the entire United States, and it really has become a cherished attraction to Spokane-nites. But if you thought that was the only ride going on in the park, you would be wrong. That's right, I'm talking about our Spokane Falls Sky Ride, which was introduced to give visitors of Spokane a unique aerial perspective of the Spokane Falls. And don't think I forgot about that iconic clock tower, which was originally part of the Great Northern Railway Depot. It was actually demolished during the '74 Expo, and there was a petition in Spokane to keep the building, but they compromised. So what they got out of the deal was the clock tower. In fact, today, if you look at the clock tower closely, you can actually see the old and new brick where they patched it up from the removal of that building. One of the things to note is the city has really made it a major goal to revitalize the park itself, while honoring its history, keeping in theme with the '74 Expo itself. After all, it reshaped our city for the better, and a city that wants to increase their outdoor recreational choices. Some key upgrades have been the ice ribbon, modernization of the pavilion itself, completely hooked up with a modern sound system and light display, where there are so many concerts that people can enjoy, on top of movie and music nights. Seriously, as a kid, I really did not appreciate this place enough, and as an adult revisiting this area, I've truly learned to appreciate the park itself, its history, and its natural beauty. Seriously, if you're visiting Spokane, make sure to have this on your to-do list. As a local Spokaneite myself, I've really learned to enjoy rediscovering this amazing park of ours. And with that being said, that's what I have for you guys for today. For those of you that don't know, my name is Adam Clark. I'm here with the Living in Spokane WA and the PNW Dream Homes team. If you guys want to share what you love about this beautiful city yourself, be sure to write it in a comment below. I really want this to be a place where we can get a discussion going and really highlight some of the great aspects the city has to offer. If you're thinking about relocating to the city of Spokane itself or the surrounding region, be sure to give us a call or text. One of my team or I will pick up that inquiry, and we'll be sure to help you A to Z, anything and everything, to help facilitate your smooth move to our beautiful city of Spokane. Until next time, guys, see you later. Well, wait.
I'm gonna redo it.
The Spokane River and this entire region was occupied by the Spokane tribe, and the river was a major source of their sustenance. They often fished for salmon, as well as other fish.